Hey guys, this may be a short video, but I'm going to be talking about something that just came to my mind, and that is shotguns and video games are kind of post-apocalyptic that may take place in the future. Um, this came to me after realizing that Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 76 are the only ones in the Bethesda era of Fallout that have pump action shotguns. And that kind of always bugged me, but it never really kind of like vibed. Besides, I play New Vegas more than the other ones, and playing 76 made me realize it's like they still have it in the coding. How come it isn't in the other games? And if you know where I'm coming from, um, if you look at it, I don't think you have AKs in Fallout 3. You have AKs in Fallout 76, and I think the last DLC for Fallout 4 brought in AKs, but they're not in Fallout New Vegas. Which at that point in time when they're doing stuff, they're bringing in. I think they didn't include it because they're bringing in more stuff, and they're trying to say the gun runners were the ones who controlled the weapon flow. Since they were in NCR territory, and the gun runners are a faction in the New Vegas area. But that could be something completely different. Um, but for me, a lot of games I'm seeing post-apocalyptic at points in time are completely ignoring pump action shotguns because I guess they're looking at semi-auto kind of military like shotguns in terms of maybe like the Saiga or something that's fed off a magazine instead of a tube fed. And that kind of really makes me go what the fuck at times. Um Purely because a pump action shotgun is probably going to be one of the most reliable things you can have for surviving in a world that's gone to almost complete chaos in terms of you're going to be in pretty close range and you can do a lot of shit. Um it may not be as good as maybe a assault rifle such as an AK, M4, AR-15 and stuff. And please, if you're typing the fucking comment, well, technically an AR-15 is not an assault rifle. I base assault rifle off rounds, not if it can go full auto or fucking semi-auto. Because a 5.56 or 2.23 to me is considered a round that you would put in a fucking assault rifle, and therefore it would be a fucking assault rifle. If it's using a because those are intermediate rounds, and if it's firing an intermediate round, I don't care if it goes full auto, semi-auto, burst. I would say I would care if it's a bolt action because a bolt action would be classifying it in something else. But if to me, if something's able to at least go semi-auto with an intermediate round, and also sorry about that. Also, if you want to try to include weird intermediate rounds that the US isn't really known for, or is this experimental round, or something that's the Russians only use, or something like that, that really doesn't get worldwide use, or is it really that common? Motherfucker, it's still an intermediate round. Look up what the standard rifle round for it is. Look up what the standard pistol round is for it. It's still a fucking intermediate round. So therefore, still an assault rifle. The size of the bullet doesn't matter. It's the length of the cartridge that matters. So, and I would, and so I would classify like an AR-15 as an assault rifle compared to an AR-10 because an AR-10 uses a full length rifle round, and I would consider that a battle rifle, such as the FAL, the M14, um, the M1 Garand would be a battle rifle. Um, Stuff like that that uses a full length cartridge for the round. They're a little bit less controllable. They have more kick, and depending on the rate of fire and full auto would be a little bit less controllable than let's say an AR-15. So therefore, we're getting that out. And if you're still typing that comment, go fuck yourself. I don't give a shit. You can try to argue whatever the fuck you want. That's my definition of an assault rifle. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of people would agree with me. But if you want to go, well, the ATF, I don't give a fuck what the ATF says, because the ATF also has been saying a lot of stupid shit. And a lot of stuff they put in to place and with their definitions need to be really redefined, because when they put in their gun culture was completely different than what it is today. So go fuck yourself if you want to try to be some smart ass gun owner, because I'll smack your ass down, you ignorant fuck. Um, Now going back into Happy Land, because I hate fucking arguing about assault rifle definition with people. But anyway, with the pump action shotgun, a pump action shotgun is good for hunting, personal defense, and basically general safety. Um, the mechanism, I feel a tube mechanism is a lot more nice and neat than, let's say, a magazine one, where the magazine can get knocked out. Um, Stuff like that. You're not having to rely on a semi-auto system to put it in. That's why I like the pump action a little bit more. True, a semi-auto can go a little bit faster, but a pump action, if you know what you're doing, can easily keep up. And also, I think it would allow you, for it to slower rate of fire, to be able to maintain a decent rate of fire that would keep people's heads down, while at the same time being able to keep up shot presence. Instead of just trying to blast in one direction, you can actually try to aim a little bit more in between shots. Um, but there's one thing that honestly, I don't have a real shotgun beside me right now, because I can't afford one. Plus, also suicidal depression. I don't like to own real guns at the moment, especially during COVID, where it is triggering a lot of my anxiety and depression at times. And so that's the one thing I'll constantly say. I have severe depression. Without medication, I don't think right at times. And sadly, with COVID, it's hard for me to get access to my medication at times. I'm trying to get access to it. I'm hoping I can in the future so I can actually function properly. But at times, I can't think straight. So, this is going to be an airsoft one, so it's not going to sound exactly like it. But this sound alone is intimidation enough for most people to realize shit's about to go down. Um, there's a reason why that is pretty much almost in every movie where they have a shotgun, where there is a cocking of the shotgun, where they're racking a fucking shell, because that sound by itself literally would make people who are thinking, "Hey, I can do this," realize, "Oh shit, well, I'm about to get a 12 gauge up my ass." Um, so pretty much, um, actually, I'm hoping my software actually recognized that. I may have to go back and check. Um, Before I upload. Um, because I'm using the NVIDIA RTX like noise cancellation thing, so I'm just hoping it didn't cut that out completely. Considering it background noise. Um, but actually, I'll do it again. That's the gun going off. There's nothing in there. Let me go back and modify my settings real quick. So in case you didn't hear it, you can fucking hear it. Okay. So again, this sound is iconic. It's going to be a little bit different with the real gun because I'm using an airsoft shotgun. Um, yeah. There, proper cock. First time my hand slipped a little bit. Um, but yeah, that sound is a very intimidating sound for a lot of people. You racking a shell or you putting a round into the chamber is honestly that thing that a lot of people, they don't realize how iconic of a sound that is, and realizing that shit's about to go down. Um, with a 12 gauge, I don't care who the fuck you are. Um, I don't care if you're wearing body armor unless it's ceramic plates. If you're getting shot by a 12 gauge, you're gonna feel that shit, even if you have full body armor. Because if it's a slug, a 12 gauge slug is nothing to laugh at. Um, I know, right? I know they developed a kind of sabo round for the shotgun to kind of fight armor, but even if you're wearing like a bulletproof vest, unless it's like hard steel plates that will absorb all the stuff, if you're wearing like soft cloth, you're gonna feel that shit hit you. Because that's the thing people don't realize is you're like, if I'm wearing a bulletproof vest, it's gonna stop the bullet. Yeah, it stops the bullet, but it doesn't stop the kinetic energy of the fucking bullet. And while like you can argue a shotgun's not like as fast, it got mass behind it. Like, I don't care who the fuck you are. If you get shot by, like, let's say, buckshot by a 12 gauge, while it may not kill you depending on where it hit, you're going down because that's shit that hit you and there's some stuff behind it. It's not the whole I'm flying back 20 feet bullshit you see in movies because that's real bullshit. But yeah, you're going down. And you hear a shotgun go off. A shotgun is not something that is a little pew. It's a big boom, so to speak, and people are going to be dropping out of confusion and possible what the fuck's going on in a scenario like that. And so I think in the Fallout games, I like how Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 76 basically have a Remington 870 style, which is one of the most popular styles of shotguns that is widely available in the US, and a lot of people kind of copy that design in the game because yeah, you would actually see that. I don't care how far in the fucking future you are, pump action shotgun would be a reliable home defense weapon, especially in a scenario where you're thinking your country may get invaded, because depending on the length of the gun and how long your tube is, you can fit at least 6 rounds in that bitch and basically be able to, unless like a small army is coming at you and you have no support, you're going to be able to reliably try to lay down fire at people, get them to, second think enough where you can reload. Because the reloading process for a regular shotgun is not something where you can just, where it's, I'm fumbling with stuff. It's, if you know what you're doing, you flip the bitch over, upside down, or you kind of put it in a way where you can easily access the tube, and you just start shoving shit in there, recock it. It's not so, it's a little bit less time consuming than dropping a mag and then looking for the mag and putting it in and then cocking it, but still you're counting this stuff. You can easily do that. So a reliable system, a good system, a proven system. I would say an American system, because America. And you can obviously tell that in New Vegas and in Fallout 76, this pump action shotgun's based off the Remington 807. Even going as far as I think in Fallout 76, it's called the Remington 76 Magnum. Which Remington is obviously a pun on Remington. But what I see in like the other shotguns in like Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 is your common shotgun is a shotgun I don't even think the US would use because it looks like a PPS or PPH. Basically the main Russian like style SMG during WW2. And if you look it up, you can obviously see the stuff. It's obviously based off of that, of one of those guns, where it looks like stamped sheet metal with the super rounded off back end for the bolt to be able to access all the bolt internals and stuff. The magazine is right in front of the trigger. You can get a drum style magazine, which is what they're known for, because I believe they're called the burp guns because they're high rate of fire. Don't quote me on that, but if you ever played like Call of Duty or any WW2 game which had the Russians in it, you've seen it. The gun looks exactly like that, which I don't think anything that would be based off an American style would do that. Because that's a typical Soviet era style, iconic look. But I think they would have something a little bit more different. And I don't think that would be the common thing, because I think that would be way too many parts and way too much stuff to be able to try to tinker with to make sure it properly functions. Unlike a pump mag, unlike a pump shotgun, which I could see them putting a mag on, where it's reliable. You're actually making the stuff go through, and if wouldn't take that much much to maintain it, to maintain efficiency. As with the double barrel, come the fuck on. Just come the fuck on. I know it looks iconic, because Mad Max, but a double barrel shotgun configuration is completely and utterly in like a survival scenario, pretty much limiting you so fucking hard that you would instantly get rid of that shit for something, because you're only having two shots, having to pop the thing open, hoping the shells actually eject, and if the shells don't eject, manually popping out the shells, then loading in more shotgun shells yourself, then closing it, which may be a little bit quicker than probably loading six shells in a tube, but you're doing it more often. I see people typically use that for hunting because they're running more of a sport out of it instead of just mindlessly killing, so to speak. But even then, a lot of people have adopted the pump action shotgun for hunting, which again brings me down to just practicality. A pump action shotgun would be able to be used for personal defense, be able to be used to protect your family, be able to be used for intimidation factor, and most importantly of all, if you need it, for food. Because guess what? A shotgun is a pretty damn good thing to be able to get fucking food with, because you can hunt deer with it, you can hunt a little bit bigger game, you can hunt small game such as birds, squirrels, shit like that. So it's a pretty much more universal weapon. And I would say in a world that you have stuff like a semi-auto fucking shotgun that's completely military designed behind it, and you have shotgun shells, a pump action shotgun would not be something that you'll be like, oh man, I can't get ammo for this. If you're trying to be like, I can't get ammo for a shotgun, then that means you're probably not getting ammo for anything else. But there's a lot of other flaws I can say in the other stuff like 76, which I am trying to get through. I'm level 6 in it, but I'm hating so much stuff in it. Such as one of the examples is they have Ring of Fire in that game as the song. And it's such a horrible cover version. It sounds horrible as shit. If people want to say, well, it's not the cover version, I know the Johnny Cash version that's 1,000 times better than whatever they have in Fallout 76. And if the Johnny Cash version is a cover, from what I understand, the song was written a year before Johnny Cash recorded it. And basically, I believe Johnny Cash was the person who recorded it first and brought it into fame. So the people who wrote it actually wrote it beforehand and then did a recording that Johnny Cash heard it and then made it commercial success. And that's their version, which it clearly doesn't seem like it's their version. Then good for them. But the Johnny Cash version is way more iconic, and you can clearly tell in the Ring of Fire version that they have on Fallout 76, it is a live performance, because they start thinking West Virginia, and I guess they're just trying to grab anything that was Virginia based, and it sounds horrible as shit. There's also some other stuff that I don't want to get into, that I'm hoping as I get in further into the game, I don't have to deal with it more, or it becomes less of a in my face thing, and I just get used to it. But yeah, there's a couple things on that. Also, I want to bring up the Metro series. Yes, the Metro 2033 like Metro 2033, Metro Last Light, and Metro Exodus has shotguns, and they don't have a pump action shotgun, so to speak, but their shotgun isn't really kind of like, I would say, kind of stupid bullshit futuristic compared to Fallout, where I believe it's the Shambler, so to speak. Let me look it up. Yay. I'm being horrible. Okay. Is okay, so from what I understand, there is one, two, three, four, five, six shotguns in the series. One of them is called the Shambler, which is the most iconic one for it. You can clearly see that it is trying to be a standard what you think of a pump action shotgun with a different style of mechanism to it, to where you don't have to load a tube. It's a revolver style where it's holding the shotgun shells. So because they're trying to make something a little bit more unique, but still it looks really practical. It doesn't look like shit, and it looks like something that actually has a real function. And if you actually see, you can actually cock it and get the iconic sound. It's a semi-auto, of course, that works off a revolver style system, which honestly in the Metro series they do a lot of stuff where it's gun the world fucking ended, and they're trying to design their own shit off mechanisms they can work with, such as the Bastard. The Bastard's a horrible gun according to that series. So the Shambler being kind of a hybrid type of thing, I dig that style. As for what was the other one, the Abzap, I believe it's called. The basically they took a Russian 50 cal and converted it to a shotgun. I love that because I just love the idea of a fucking belt-fed shotgun. That's practically, you just took a fucking military grade machine gun. Well, I wouldn't say military grade because I hate the term military grade, but you know what I mean. It's a heavy machine gun that they just converted into a shotgun, and I love that gun. Do you play, of course, double-barreled shotgun? You pretty much ditch it right off the bat. That's kind of your standard close range, haha, I at least got something style thing, where you don't have much, but hey, it's better than nothing. And pretty much the second you get to Shambler, you forget that bitch. As for the Saiga, the Russians have it. It's not that bad. It's based off the AK, so I'm okay with that. It's not like they created some bullshit design off of nothing, where they're just like, this looks cool, let's slap it together. A lot of the stuff with the Metro series, I want to say, while not being like super ultra like based off of real guns, so to speak, at times, it's still interesting, innovative ideas that you can see practicality of it in. And and kind of seeing it with the world. With Fallout, I don't see it that way at times. But I've been ranting for a little bit too long right now. And I was just hoping this would be like a 15-minute video, but apparently it's going long. But yeah, I have other thoughts on maybe 76 and some of the other stuff that I wish the Fallout would do, and possibly hope for a Fallout 5. If you guys want to hear that, please comment and tell me if you do. I'll definitely try that. Also, I could do a political rant, but I don't really like politics because it's that thing that when I was in high school, I did debate for 4 years. I was in a lot of stuff. I try to continue it after my high school to help coach other people and stuff like that. And it was that thing that my life revolved around it for so fucking long. I'm just tired of politics. I can get into politics, but it's that thing where I see it with a lot of people who did debate for a long period of time. And one of the reasons why I didn't try to get a scholarship for debate in high school is when I saw some of the college level debaters come in, you could tell that they were completely burnt out on shit, and unless they had to, they didn't want to deal with it. And the only reason why they were dealing with it is because they were basically using it to get through college, so they didn't have to pay a shit ton of money. But that's a story for another time. I'm gonna leave this at here as, hey, shotguns, super useful. Don't forget a shotgun if you're going out in a survival scenario. I would say pretty much as good, if not better, in certain scenarios as maybe an assault rifle. I will say as good, if not better, depending on the range you want to go at and the amount of people are attacking you. Because honestly, again, like I said, a shotgun is a little bit more iconic in terms of home defense and stuff like that, and would be a more practical use, especially depending on where you're using it, because a shotgun isn't known for over penetrating, such as like the 5.56 and like nines. So as long as you don't mind doing a little bit of repair work, which honestly in a house it would probably you're unless you hit a pipe or something, you can easily plaster over it. Um, and also a shotgun isn't as cheap. A shotgun's not going to be as cheap as like an AR-15 because AR-15s, the entry level AR-15s are cheap as fuck. But it's just that thing for home defense. If you can get one, I've always preferred them over an AR-15 just for practicality. But that's been me on my soapbox, just trying to get some thoughts out. I'll see you guys later. Peace.